So I'll be installing the new batteries here shortly. I've made a few videos on how to actually get the battery pack out of the vehicle. If you want to watch those to catch up, you can go ahead and do that. But I'll be taking all this stuff out, and then once I have the pack out, I'll get you guys caught up again. So right now, nothing's really taken out. Pretty much just the privacy cover that sits here. I'm gonna go ahead and get started. Alright, the battery is out. I have it sitting over here on this chair. Now from here it's just a basic disassembly, so taking off these black covers, taking off the 8mm nuts, and then there are 8mm bolts down there that actually secure the module to the housing. Take those out. Take out these 12mm nuts that kind of squeeze the pack together, and then we can start reassembling with the new battery pack. Alright, everything is disassembled. From here it's pretty much just following the manual on installation. The boxes that the batteries came in are perfect for storing your old ones, either just for storing them or for shipment, or just meeting someone on Craigslist to have them all handy. Here's what it looks like without the battery modules in it. You have to cut this little zip tie holder thing and unplug the voltage sensor wiring harness from that little ECU there. And yeah, back to assembly. So here she is, all assembled for the most part. With a second gen, you align it or order it 13 or 14 to 1, with 14 being close to the computer side of things. There are 3 battery pack air temperature sensors. You want to clip them onto 13, 7, and 2. It's pretty explanatory in the manual. Now what I have to do is put the bus bars on. Pretty self-explanatory with these stickers. Got to hook up the kill switch. And then on this side, the voltage sensors get hooked up. And at that point, it should be ready to go back in the vehicle. Alright, so everything's wired up now. Bus bars on all the modules. Power wires on. And you can see the the block voltage meters go to the positive terminals. And there are a few on this side, and there's also a few on the other side, which is a different design from OEM. So all the volt sensing wires there. Got my kill switch wiring right there. And yeah, there's a bit of slack with the wires just because they're routed a little bit differently, but that shouldn't be too much of an issue. The biggest slack of wires are here to your kill switch, just because you have these flipped upside down and they're a little bit closer to the computer side of the battery pack, so you have a lot of slack here. But the cover still should go on. So yeah, at this point, let's just put on all these plastic covers on these terminals, and then put the metal cover on and drop it back in the vehicle. Alright, so it's pretty much all back together now. Got everything hooked up as far as wiring goes. Just got to put the brace on this side and the brace on this side back on, put the back seats on, and put all the trim pieces back, and we'll be good to go. Alright, everything's back together. Just got back from my test drive. The battery seems to be doing alright. Only time will tell, really. I used to have this this issue where when the battery would be low in charge, you'd hit the gas pedal and nothing would happen for a split second, or maybe like a whole second, until the internal combustion engine kicked in, and then you would go. Haven't experienced that yet with this battery, but like I said, only time will tell. The other thing I noticed is I did mess up the battery air temperature sensor. I actually broke it off and I attempted to connect it back together, but looks like it didn't work. I'm getting a check engine light for that battery temperature sensor, and it's actually kind of funny. On my monitoring app, it says the battery is negative 72 degrees. See, I broke off that that one right there. It says it's temperature sensor number 1. It's the one closest to the edge of the battery pack that's not on the computer side. So the correct temperature is actually about 60 degrees right now. All the battery voltages look to be very, very steady, within 0.1 volts of each other. So that's pretty good. Everything else looks pretty normal. Fan hasn't kicked on yet. I haven't driven it very far, but I don't think the fan will be kicking on very much. So yeah, really only time will tell. I'm going to have to look into where I can get that battery temperature sensor. Going to have to tear back into the battery pack again, but you know, no big deal, I guess. I've been in there like 10 times by now, and it's not too difficult to get to. But yeah, be careful with those battery temperature sensor clips. It's just held on by 2 very thin wires that aren't very flexible, so you bend them too many times, they'll break right off. I believe I can get an aftermarket replacement. I've seen some talk on the Prius forums about that, so I'm going to have to look into that. But yeah, so far so good. The installation was a little bit longer than I expected just because I was reading through the manual very thoroughly. There were some confusing parts, so be sure to read your manual a few times over, perhaps once before you start, and then have it next to you as you're doing the actual install. But other than that, it's just like a regular old module replacement. Take the battery pack out, pop it open, do what you got to do, put it back in. But yeah, hopefully you enjoyed that little video on installing those aftermarket battery modules. If you haven't subbed to the channel already, go ahead and give me a sub if you'd like. Give this video a like, I would appreciate that. Share this video to your friends. And as always, thanks for watching.